Hey guys, what's going on? Sully here from the Adam Sullivan Music Theory blog, and we are back with the next Composer's Vlog episode. Now, as you can tell, there is kind of a lack of audio with this recording. I'm sorry about that, guys, but decided I would experiment with some new audio ideas, because as you've been hearing, I've been using the speaker out of the back of the mic, and it hasn't been sounding very good. So what I tried to do was make it sound a little bit better. But anywho, I got a special surprise at the end for y'all. Okay, let's go ahead and start discussing what I'm up to right now. Basically, when I was recording this, what I decided to do was start cleaning it up a little bit. So what I'm going to start doing is, let's go ahead and discuss a little bit about dynamics. So as you may or may not know, dynamics are the change in volume in a piece. And as you know, or may not know, they're labeled anywhere from pianissimo all the way up to fortissimo. But dynamics are a very important part to a composition, depending on what you're after. Up until about the time of Beethoven, dynamics were considered what's called terraced, which it was either soft or it was loud. There wasn't any really in-between volumes, because at the time the harpsichord didn't really have that much range in dynamics. It was either you could get it loud or you could get it soft. But around the time of Beethoven, when the actual, what we see now as a piano came about, they started using actual dynamics where you could grow and just kind of modulate the dynamics a lot more. So as you can see, I'm sitting here playing with the dynamics a little bit. Also, as you'll see in a minute, I'll switching between using the greater than less than or writing it out. And I went on and started using the crescendo as in writing it out. This is all, it doesn't really matter what you do, as long as you, it's all mainly about what kind of feel you're going for. Or in my case, whichever one finale would respond to more. I was having some technical difficulties. But like I said, it doesn't really matter as long as it matches throughout the piece. But usually you don't want to use the written out crescendo unless it's over a series of bars. If it's over more than about 3 bars, that's when you want to use it. And same thing with decrescendi. You don't really want to write out decrescendo or diminuendo unless it's going out for over more than about 3 bars. Because as you see below that, in the cello and bass, that's about as far as you want to take the greater than less sounds. Also, something I was wanting to bring up, as you'll notice at the end in our little surprise, I wrote in a second ending so that it goes back to measure 3 or measure 4, and then all that will be visual in a minute. But the secret behind writing a piece is you don't want to make it too repetitive unless that's what you're aiming for. If the main intention of your piece is to be repetitive, then that's when you want to make it repetitive. But other than that, you don't really want to do that. And now you're asking, why did you write the same piano line for about 50 measures then, if that's your case? And I responded that by, I'm experimenting here. But the idea behind me doing that is I'm trying to figure out how much growth it needs to be in the melody. And the only way I'm really going to be able to figure that out is with the experimental percussion, which I'll be adding in later, and what we'll be working on for the second half of this series. And now you're asking, what am I talking about with experimental percussion? Now, the trick behind the experimental percussion is using sounds that aren't normally considered musical sounds. For example, I'll just dig into a little thing here, and I have 2 pans, and they make all these different sounds. Experimental percussion is basically taking those sounds and turning them into music. And what I'll be doing is I'll be taking that and making the percussion. Also, if you go on the SoundCloud, which would be www.soundcloud.com/asmusictheoryblog, you'll see that I'm starting a series on there of covers I'm doing for different songs. Like right now I have The Legend of Zelda Song of Storm, and what I'm going to do is start covering different songs, and then the percussion's going to be experimental. So I'll start doing a video on that soon. Hopefully I'll have it up next week. I was supposed to have it up yesterday, but something happened. But anywho, before we go into the second half or the last little chunk of this where the little surprise is, I just wanted to go ahead and say I hope you're enjoying the series. I haven't been getting any responses from anybody, so if you have any suggestions, then feel free to leave them in the comments. And other than that, if you like this, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.